Hello, everyone. You are sitting with two stone bastards. Today's show is a special. We're going to be bringing you the new movie Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
And we wish we could say it was good. But
Yeah.
then,
I had a lot of high hopes. I mean, when this first started being talked of a year ago, I didn't even think it was real. And then when I found out I did, it was like, wow, this could really be something cool. And it had its moments. But overall, before we jump
yeah,
ahead, you know, you want to take us into the storyline or
what storyline? See, that
the,
is my essential problem with this movie. If
Mhm.
as a storyteller, as a writer, I understand that if I expect people to take the story I'm telling seriously, I have to tell them a good story.
Mhm.
If the story sucks, it doesn't matter how seriously I take it. This story is so fucking convoluted that I mean, I when I started watching it, I originally messaged Dan about 30 minutes in.
Mhm.
I said the last goddamn thing that made any sense was the cartoon that started it.
I hate to agree, but that's about it. I wonder how high they were when they were filming because it looked like they were everywhere.
All over the place.
Yeah, or either that or they finished filming going, wait, we need to make some more time. Let's throw this in. Let's shoot this scene. We'll throw it in. And it just didn't
Yeah,
make sense.
yeah.
Oh, the girl with the life preservers.
The girl with the life preservers. I don't know. Shit.
Well, what the story should have been, according to Wikipedia at least, um, Winnie the Pooh and all the gang that hung out with Christopher Robin um, get left on their own. Christopher Robin grows up, goes to college. So, like any animal that you feed every day, all of a sudden you're not there to feed it. They start going feral. And give them more thought, they actually hate humanity and make a promise never to speak again.
Yes.
I think they threw that into that cartoon intro just so to explain why why they didn't talk.
I guess.
I myself wanted to hear Winnie the Pooh do some good one-liners, but he wouldn't talk. He grunted, particularly grunted a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
I
will say
suppose
this:
it might have made it more entertaining. Maybe.
well, at least when you're on that downward spiral, you'd have
Yeah.
something say, well, Pooh did say that one epic line. I will say Piglet is an asshole. The Piglet's kills, he's a fucking asshole. He really had some anger issues.
Oh, seriously.
So anyway, 5 years later, Christopher Robin brings his new wife and wants to introduce him to Winnie the Pooh, and they do their little adventure, and this is one of the things I really hate is when they're filming people going through a forest when it's very obvious that you've already cleared a little path and they're just going to walk around this big log until they're out of frame, and then they'll move the camera and they really travel 20 feet. It's obvious in this film they're supposed to look like they're making this long trek, and they're not going very far at all. um, Even stoned, I could tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they
And,
get back there,
and the character of Christopher Robin was
man, was he
such
not the biggest bitch you've ever
he was
seen?
such a whining bitch that almost from the moment he showed up on camera, I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
see him die
Oh yeah,
horribly.
you see when I first saw this, I didn't even know he was going to be in it, and once I found out, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then just 5 minutes into his dialogue, I'm like, I fucking hate this little bastard. scrawny little too white weirdo.
Whining bitch.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to die.
Yeah. So, by the way, when they finally get to where Pooh and them all live, you have any idea that their house would be so badass? It was like a tree fort.
Yeah, and the first question I got that came to mind was, okay, they were stuffed animals in the beginning, right? I think.
Well, in the original Winnie the Pooh, they're stuffed animals. But in that little cartoon montage that's supposed to tell you everything you need to know before you watch this train wreck, they were mutants. They were like disfigured man beasts with no explanation of how they got there. But, whiny bitch Christopher made friends with them.
Right. Well, the question that came to my mind was, where the fuck did the Airstream trailers come from?
And all the cars. It looked like they went into a wrecking car business. There were like old cars, new cars, rusted out. They're all over the property. And I'm okay.
Presumably, the 100-acre wood, which is where it takes place, had seen a rash of disappearances and murders. Now, enter into this a supposedly traumatized woman who was in therapy, and she was traumatized because some perverted asshole stalked her when she was younger, I guess. So, as part of her therapy, she then goes to the 100-acre wood.
Makes no sense.
Really? Yeah.
How's that even therapy?
I know. Then you have this lone redhead who shows up and says on the phone she has no clue where she is. So what does she do? The stupid bitch goes wandering around in the 100-acre wood for no reason. No reason whatsoever. And then she dies horribly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, she's the only one we get boobs from.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I try to like these movies.
But
this one, no. I wouldn't give it more than like 2 stars.
And you're being generous, to be honest with you. You know what? I'll agree with you. 2 on the gore level. The gore effects were all practical, and they were actually really good. But that's where it ends.
That's where it ends.
Jumping back to this.
It was one of those movies that was shot so dark that you almost couldn't tell what was going on. And
that was another problem I had.
The best example of that would be Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Yes.
That could have been the greatest movie ever made. And you wouldn't know it because you couldn't tell what the fuck was happening. Yeah. You couldn't see anything. And this was one of those movies.
Filming your movie dark does not hide your problems.
No.
It adds to it. So, gonna sneeze.
Oh.
Well, okay.
While he's trying to sneeze his nose out his ears, I would rate this movie as don't even fucking bother. That would be my recommendation. Stone to an LSD wouldn't make any difference.
Maybe LSD.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not quite that harsh on it. I would say if you have nothing else to watch and this is available, go ahead. Just know what you're getting into. again, the killings are great. The girl in the swim pool, she's the one with the fake boobs. That's why I called her the flotation device or whatever I said. Can't remember. Yeah, her own life preserver right there. This okay, let's talk about this scene. This is another scene. This is another problem in the movie right here. This got so ridiculous that not just this scene, but there was a scene where 3 surviving women are hiding behind a too small crate, so they're easily visible, talking at normal volume, so they're very hearable.
Right.
And yet, Winnie the Pooh or Piglet, they never heard them until they did their big jerk turnaround.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they see him. It's like, okay, I'm not buying this.
Yeah.
Then
it was just before this scene. The girl is sitting in the jacuzzi all by her lonesome, showing us her body. Thankfully, because that was the only thing about the scene. And she hears a noise, turns, and sees Winnie at a distance, staring at her. So what does she do? Does she, I don't know, go inside? No. This stupid bitch gets back into the jacuzzi.
Holding her phone up, modeling to herself.
Yeah.
See,
and
so
then
this
happens.
Yeah, and so you get the stupid shit. So you got people hiding in plain sight. Then when they do run, they'll run around a corner and stop and have girl meltdowns. Yeah. And it's like, the killers are not that far behind you. Why would you stop to break down here? The other thing I don't like is they always seem to stop and watch a friend get killed, not do anything to stop it. Or if you're just that scared and you're going to let your friend die, run while their attention is on that person.
Yeah.
They don't do it. They sit there and watch it happen, then freak out about it.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, the story in this movie made no fucking sense.
No.
But it was clear by the way they shot it that the movie, the filmmakers wanted us to take the story seriously. You could tell. They wanted us to buy.
Oh yeah, they wanted us to just be involved completely.
And it made no fucking sense. None.
I'm watching it. I'm stoned. My attention span, as you've already noticed, is not that great. Even I'm spotting these things going, what? So the viewing, no, if I'd seen this in the movie theater, this would have been one of the movies that pissed me off. It's like, I wasted this much time, that much money, popcorn was stale. That, I would complain about stale popcorn. I happen to like stale popcorn when I'm stoned. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it chews different. I don't know what it is.
That's just unnatural, dude.
I know. Nobody said I was normal.
True.
Yeah, so I would say if you're bored, there's nothing else, go ahead if you want some blood and guts. I will say the pool kill was awesome. Piglet, being the asshole, did a number on that chick with the sledgehammer.
Oh, yeah.
I like the masks, except that, Winnie the Pooh has the most mask movement to it, the ears and smile.
Right.
Piglet was totally, didn't do anything that I could see other than drool.
Right.
And I think that's another thing that could have been, maybe something could have been done about. I don't know. I'm going to give him a pass on the whole mask thing. Except for Piglet. Because when you pointed this out, Jeff, I went back and looked. You can see where the silicone mask is around his shoulders.
Yep.
And, I didn't notice that at first, but then when I looked, I'm like, yeah, that, I can't even believe that got past me. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. I went into this not expecting much because I got burned with banana splits.
Yes, me too. God, was that a letdown?
That was a letdown.
Oh my
It
God.
wasn't as much of a letdown, though, as this thing.
I think it's the opposite. This was a letdown, but I would watch this again over Banana Splits. Not that I intend to watch this again at all. The other biggest disappointment for me in this movie was finding out that they didn't kill Christopher Robin. Winnie the Pooh tied him up shirtless to torture. And even the torture was just like
annoying.
It was annoying, you know, putting the eaten skeletal remains of his wife in front of him, and then Christopher Robin just, oh no. I'm all like, fuck that, man. She's gone. It's a skeleton. What are you fucking screaming about? You've had enough time to adjust. You should be more afraid about what he's going to do to you.
Yeah, from about 10 minutes into the movie, Christopher Robin had one line. No!
Yeah.
And he said it 47 times.
He did it at the end of the movie, too. And it's like, why are you sitting there? I mean, I'm doing a spoiler because who fucking cares on this movie? When he slices the final girl's throat, and you're like 5-6 feet away, this is your chance to get the fuck up and run, because Pooh doesn't just throw down a body. He likes to finish off. You can get some distance. But no, he sits there. Oh no. It's like, fuck you, man. I was happy when I thought that they killed him. You know, and the way they did that little cartoon sequence, it looked like they tied him up and threw him in a pit, you know, to barbecue. Well, apparently that was the wife. So when I saw that dude all strung up in the shed, I'm like, oh, good Lord, he's back. This is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And it was. But there's some good kills in there. You know, if we're talking heads under tires exploding, fucking death by sledgehammer, poor bitch in the swimming pool. That was brutal. Mm-hmm. And even this is just showing you Piglet. Piglet was one that's wielding the sledgehammer, torturing his victim. You know, playing with her.
Holding her in place so they could run over her skull.
Yep. So I will give the movie thumbs up on the gore and the practical effects, and thumbs down for everything else.
Everything else.
Everything. I'm talking about I didn't see trailers on this, but I would have given a thumbs down to trailers just for being on this. How bad is that?
Yeah. So you've got one don't bother and one you've got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Fast forward. That's the key to this movie. Fast forward.
Yeah.
You're not missing a lot.
Don't even try to follow the story.
No, it's literally non-existence.
Yeah, well, there's a story there, but it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, the story is pick better friends. The ones that aren't going to hide behind two small boxes, talk loud, and watch you die before they do anything.
Yeah.
So sorry, folks. Your special edition show we're just talking about a big turd. Polish it all you want. Still going to be a turd.
Indeed. But anyway, I guess we'll see you next time.
We're out.
Take it easy, folks.